My sister was scrolling through photos of her gorgeous new kitchen, holding the phone out so I could admire it, when she said the sentence that ended things between us. "Oh man, about Nan's money. There wasn't really anything left for you, in the end. Once everything was sorted." She said it like she was mentioning the weather, still smiling, still holding up a photo of an island unit that cost more than my car. I just looked at her, because our Nan hadn't left not much. Our Nan had left a house that sold for a very real amount of money, and her will said, in plain English, that it was to be split equally between her 2 grandchildren, me and Rachel. And Rachel had just told me, over photos of the kitchen she'd clearly paid for with it, that my half had somehow evaporated. Here's how it happened. When Nan passed, Rachel volunteered to be the executor, to handle everything so you don't have to worry about it. I was grieving and I trusted my sister, so I said thank you. That's kind. Rachel took that to mean the money was hers to manage, and then, somewhere along the way, hers to spend. New kitchen, a car, I later found out, a holiday. And for me, her brother, her co-beneficiary. There wasn't really anything left. She thought being the executor put her in charge. She thought it made the decisions hers. She was about to find out exactly how wrong that was. Here's the thing Rachel had completely misunderstood. An executor isn't the owner of the money. An executor is more like a referee. Their legal job is to gather the estate, pay any debts, and then distribute it exactly as the will says. That's it. They hold the money in trust for the people it belongs to. And if an executor spends the beneficiary's money on themselves, a kitchen, a car, a holiday, that isn't handling the estate. That's a breach of their duty. And an executor can be held personally liable to pay it all back, out of their own pocket. Rachel didn't know any of that. She thought executor meant in charge. I didn't scream at her. I wanted to. This was our Nan's money, and she'd treated my share like her personal bonus. But screaming gets you nothing. Evidence gets you everything. So I sent her a message, calm and very specific. I asked her, as executor, to provide the estate accounts, the record of what the house sold for, what debts were paid, and how the remaining money was distributed. Every beneficiary is entitled to see them. It's not a favour, it's a right. Rachel's reply came back a day later, and it was flustered. She said she'd have to dig them out. She said it was all very complicated. She said, did I really want to make this a whole thing so soon after losing Nan? Which told me everything. Because an executor who's done nothing wrong can produce the accounts in an afternoon. An executor who's spent your half on a kitchen cannot. When Rachel kept stalling, I stopped asking nicely, and I spoke to a solicitor. The solicitor sent Rachel a single letter. It laid out her duties as executor, requested the estate accounts formally, and noted, politely, in that bloodless legal way, that as a beneficiary I was entitled to my share, and that an executor who had distributed the estate incorrectly could be held personally liable to make good the shortfall. That letter did what 100 family arguments never could have, because now it wasn't her emotional brother she could guilt trip about making it a thing. It was a solicitor explaining that she was personally, financially, legally on the hook for money she'd already spent. The accounts appeared within 2 weeks. They showed exactly what I already knew. The house had sold for a substantial sum. After Nan's small debts, there was a large amount left, half of which was, unarguably, mine. And Rachel had spent a big chunk of it on herself. There was no wriggling out of it. The will was clear. The figures were clear, and her own duty as executor was clear. Rachel refinanced the kitchen. She sold the car she'd bought, and over the following months, she paid me every penny of my half of Nan's estate. Because the alternative was a court doing it for her and costing her far more. We're not really close now. I don't know how you come back from a sister looking you in the eye over photos of a kitchen she bought with your inheritance and telling you there was nothing left for you. But I got my half. Nan wanted us to have it equally, and in the end, we did. Being the executor doesn't make the money yours. It makes you responsible for splitting it right, and accountable if you don't. Has a family member ever treated shared money like it was only theirs? Drop it in the comments, and if you want more complete stories with no part twos that never come, follow the page. New story every day.